Hello everyone, welcome to Grimm's Garage and another episode of Mail Call Leftovers for the Trade Table. This will be limited series. Basically, these are vehicles that I have gotten in bulk lots that I purchased online or through local deals. I've opened what I wanted from my collection, and these are the leftovers that will go on the trade table. And I figure before they go to the trade table and disappear, we'll take a look at them for all of you. So first off, most of these are Hot Wheel premiums. I do have two Hot Wheel character cars that we'll go over first, both being Masters of the Universe. First one being a Skeletor vehicle with a damaged card, unfortunately. But the vehicle is very cool. I was on the borderline opening this. Pardon me. I don't like the vehicles that are fantasy vehicles made to look like car versions of the people. I love the vehicles that were of the movies, cartoons, or shows. Like if he had a vehicle in the cartoon, I want his vehicle. I don't want a vehicle made shaped like him. And when it comes to vehicles like, let's say this is just a random van with a Skeletor on the side, that I would take because I like vans. If it's a normal vehicle and I like that model, I'll take that model despite what the picture is on it. I am a Skeletor fan, but I'm not keeping this guy. I like the fact that he's got his little staff head on the back there. It's kind of like an antenna. Alright, next one. The other character card for today is also a Masters of the Universe, HeMan. This kind of looks dodgy, I would say. You can see how they use his colors and his look and themes to inspire this vehicle. So there's a lot of tan and orange to represent his skin, browns and golds to represent his loincloth and belt. Right on the hood, we got the gray and red to represent his breastplate. And slightly yellower top to represent his golden locks. Didn't really notice that part of it. Anyway, here are the rest of that series. There's a Tila, Beastman, and a Man-at-Arms to be found. I gotta say, if I had to have any of these, I have the two of the best ones. Alright. Next, we have a Star Trek. What is it, 50? Is that supposed to be like a 50th anniversary? USS Enterprise, NCC 1701. So, this is the original television series Enterprise. That can't be right. I'm sure either that's bent or something. That does not look kosher. Hopefully it's adjustable. I'll point it out to any prospective buyers. I'm not a Star Trek fan enough to want to open it. Next we have a Hot Wheels Wonder Woman Mercedes-Benz Sprinter Tourer. This is a newer vehicle, but I love this model. I have two of these open for me. The plain green one, part of like an import series, and this one itself. I already had this, that's why it's up for sale. But it is a fun vehicle. I mean, I love my vans. I like the accessorized top and ladder in the back. And just the feel of playing with this vehicle open on a track or a table, it just feels really nice to play with, especially with those bulky rubber tires. It's a nice model. It feels good in the hand. And I personally do own this whole series open because I collect every single one of these models. Ironically, I'm not a fan of DC Comics, but I'm a fan of every one of these vehicles, so I have the whole set open for myself. Alright. Let's see. Let's do some normal stuff. Here are a couple from, I think it was, Deutschland Design Series. I did end up with a full set of these from an online purchase, but I was not interested in any of them other than the Sprinter, which I just mentioned. Pardon me. So I have two. I have this one and the Wonder Woman one. I was not interested in the rest. Two of them sold at my previous show. And this is the Mercedes-Benz C63 AMG Coupe Black Series 2012. In red chrome rims. There's actually pretty sharp rims and tires. Nice front tempo. Nice details all around. Alright, next vehicle. The other one left over. 94 AMG Mercedes C-Class DTM Touring Car. Silver. With a lot of blue tempo. Racing theme here, a lot of sponsoring. That is a pretty sharp vehicle. If you're a collector of this model, that's pretty nice. Philips Car Systems. They have a Philips audio system. R03 stamp. Kind of pretty if you're into that model. Baja Bouncer. I guess this is a fantasy model, but I do have this in my collection. I do have a loose one. So I like anything that's kind of Rancheros, El Caminos, and Blazers. Somewhere in between. I'm not exactly sure what this is based on. Plus, I love accessories. It's got a lot of bullshit in the back. What else we got here? Nissan Laurel. I'm not sure about that. That does look intriguing. I own that. I would not be interested in that. Volkswagen Drag Bus. Yeah, I gotta have that. And I definitely gotta have the deluxe station wagon. Although I hate the fact that they call this a station wagon, because it's not. It's just another van or bus. Or I don't know why they call them buses either. They're just vans. Volkswagen really liked to call things whatever the hell they wanted. They had many types of vans, so they gave them other classifications. Anyway, I love them all. Alright, what else we got? Corvette C8R. Red, white, and blue. I don't like Corvettes. And I don't like this one even more. Very modern and sporty. It is sharp, though. If you are a fan of Corvettes, which I'm not, so to each their own. This is not for me, but possibly you. What else was in this series? Let's see. Tesla Roadster? No, thank you. Ford Bronco R. I do like that. I believe we have an extra one here to review next. This car we're looking at. Never saw that. And I'm okay. I don't like it. 69 Chevelle SS. I haven't seen that either, but if I had come across it, I don't need it, but it is sharp. I may have grabbed that one if I had saw it in the wild. Anyway, that's a pretty sharp car if you're into Corvettes. A very nice detailing. I like those black, the rear brake lights. They're painted on, but they almost look like a separate plastic insert. And as mentioned, here is the Ford Bronco R. I did open it like this. I like Broncos, and it's got the extended rear cage for the spare tire. And it's a premium, so I wanted to add some more premium Broncos to the pile. This one is a spare, so it will go up on the table. Next, one of the 007 James Bond series, Aston Martin from No Time to Die, Valhalla concept. I don't like any of these vehicles, and I'm still trying to figure out what do you call these style vehicles. Like, oh, pardon me. There are coupes, pickup trucks, van, wagon. What do you classify these super sporty looking things? Because they're not all Ford imports. Here's a Corvette. Ford makes some too. What do you classify these vehicles? Please enlighten me. I'm not a fan of them, by the way. They're very sharp looking. If I had, I mean, this Aston Martin is pretty sharp with the black and silver. I like the color combinations. That helps my influence greatly. Next, we have an Avalanche. Spider Machine GP7. I thought this was some made-up baloney, but I did a little research, and I guess this is the Spider-Man vehicle from the Japanese television series, which is like from the 70s or 80s. Don't recall. Probably the 80s. 2021 release on this. But it was a Japanese show version, hence all the Japanese writing. There is another Spider-Man vehicle that I got in the same lot. It was a little, like, dune buggy from the American cartoon. And I like dune buggies. And I recall that cartoon, so I did open that for my personal collection. Maybe we'll see that later. But I have no nostalgia to this. And otherwise, it looks crazy goofy. So it's going on the trade table. Alright. Gas Monkey Garage. I'm not a fan of the show, but this one is pretty sharp. And I hate gold, but it's funny. I hate gold. I hate Corvettes. Gold on a Corvette works. This does look sharp for itself. If you're into these, you're probably interested. Let's get these rubber red line tires. If I was a modifier, I got a lot of extras. I probably would have ripped open just for the tires. Speaking of this, these are the type of tires I want to put on a first edition wagon that I have. I have to find another version of the wagon first. I've never wanted to modify a vehicle before, and I saw this wagon. It's red, black, and silver. It's beautiful, and thought something like these rims and tires would be perfect on it. So I think the mod bug has finally hit me. Alright. The Beatles' Yellow Submarine. I'll be honest with you, I'm a huge music fan. You may have caught some music equipment in the background of some of my videos. But I know it sounds weird. I am not a Beatles fan. Not directly. I do acknowledge, recognize, and respect what they have done and their influence on the music scene. But I personally don't feel or jive with the tunes. 2014. Well, see, there's 2 dates on this one. That's weird. 2015 for Mattel. 2014 for the copyright of using the image. So they got the copyright before, and they got around to making the mold a year later, I assume. And there's a printed date on there, so maybe there's another model. I'm still figuring things out. I haven't figured all the details out of the little nuances and codes. But if you are a Beatles fan, and a Beatles Yellow Submarine cartoon fan, which I had caught a little bit of as a child, this is pretty cool. It's pretty accurate. Quite goofy. Alright, now we have the Masters of the Universe Land Shark. I do have one of these open for myself. Because this is a real vehicle for the cartoon, not just some made up crap. And I had this toy as a child. It was Tonka sized. One thing I love about this Hot Wheels edition, if you are a fan of the Masters of the Universe, I have this open. The guns are articulated. They will move up and down. The jaw does open. What I love the most about this is the feel of the rubber teeth. I don't know why I remember the texture of the teeth of the real toy as a child, and as best as I can recall, it's the same as on this recreation 1/64 scale. I love touching these teeth. They're like a rubbery plastic, similar to what they're using on the Matchbox dinosaurs. But it brought me back. I love this model. Marvel Studios' Loki, which was a series me and my wife watched. It was entertaining. But I don't ever recall seeing a helicopter anywhere in the series, let alone one labeled Thanos. The Thanos Copter. So I assume maybe there was a comic tie-in that had this vehicle involved. I was a huge Marvel fan as a child, to the fact of I was drawing my own little comics and versions of the characters. But that fell off very quickly, maybe around age 13, 14. And when they started doing the recent movies, I got into them out of nostalgia. And my wife caught on. So we catch all the recent films, but I don't recall this. Does anybody have any information on this? Fill me in. Another reason why I think that might be BS, because of this last one, that I also have an open version of my own, along with another version. There is a yellow version with a lot more tempo on it. Can't see it from this view, but there is a little smiley face sticker on the opposite side. But, I don't know. Maybe in the comics, as seen in this picture. But I never witnessed Deadpool riding a scooter. Although that definitely seemed like something he would do. And that's a good reason to release a scooter. They're always looking for a reason to make money. And we're always looking for a reason to find something to buy. And I don't know. The scooter's really cute. I like the scooter. And they tied in the Deadpool name. It helps. So here we are. And with that, thank you for joining us. Joining me today. I'm going to do a couple more of these videos of mail calls before they disappear at my local trade show. So stay tuned, and please leave your comments below. Give me some info. Help enlighten me about the things I don't know. And above all, give me some constructive criticism. Let me know what I could do to improve these videos for you. I started them for me, but it looks like I'm getting an audience. So let me know what you want and what you do not. Good night.